first just talk about some of the things that you might want to put into a let me introduce myself or an about me presentation. So really you have this blank canvas. We're going to go create new and we're going to use the non-listing type. Continue. And just you'll see the 2 pages. It's just going to be cover page and agent profile. There we go. And when you go into it, just to show you, it's just going to take you directly into pages because that's really all you're going to be playing around for. So kind of the point is you want people to know, like, and trust you. You want to establish value, maybe even expertise in an area. So really in this, let me introduce myself. Again, it's better to keep it short and sweet, but you want to put your credentials down. You want this bio page to look really good. Again, if you are not entirely sure where this comes from, I click on my face to the top right, go to my account. Here we go, personal info, contact info, web info. Here we go. If I were to edit this, this is where I can get that good bio to show up, any social media and whatnot. So just so you know where that comes from. And then you can even be a little more specific on where you do your business, if you specialize in some areas, and just, you know, kind of showing why you're an expert in the area. Having the testimonials, we talked in a previous module about how you can bring in testimonials, web view or a PDF view, and you're just establishing value. So kind of putting this together, some people have found great success in doing a about me video that they put in here, where it's just really quick. It's them talking. It feels more personal. If that's something that you could see yourself doing. But the cool thing, again, and why we love Presents for doing our digital and printing presentations is that it will create this URL. So if I go to view this in WebView, up at the top of the page, this is a website. So up at the top of the page, I have a URL that I can just copy and paste. So a couple of different things. Sometimes we recommend keep that URL just saved on your phone. That way when you meet people, it's almost like a virtual business card that you can just have in there. And so when you meet people, you can just, you know, when you get their number or something, just text them this URL. They can kind of look into a little bit in more depth. Maybe you even want to put in some links to invite them to set themselves up on Neighborhood News or Real Scout. Those are all things that you can put in here. And then when people are checking you out, they're looking at you, they could sign up for one of these possibilities right here. Or, you know, what's my home worth? You could just have kind of a nice page of some links that they might be interested in checking out. And then another option, because this is a URL, is we can turn it into a QR code. So you can just have that QR code saved on your phone and just have people scan it themselves so that they can get more details on you. Or you could even maybe put the QR code on the back of your business card. People are going to check just because they're going to be curious what that URL or what that QR code is going to lead to. So that's just kind of some ideas of what you can do for that. So you can keep one generic, let me introduce myself, where you put in, you know, your credentials, your bio, some testimonials, things like that. Or you can look at it in 2 different ways. Let me introduce myself as a listing agent. Let me introduce myself as a buyer's agent, and put in a little bit more context that would be specific for how you could serve them as a listing agent versus a buyer's agent. So just a couple things to think through there. But really, the great thing about this presentation is once you sit down and once you create it, it's good to go. You have that URL that maybe you turn into a QR code, and then you can just use it anytime you meet someone to be like, hey, it was great to meet you. If you want to know a little bit more about me and what I do, here you go. And this is a very reusable presentation here. That it will just always stay, on your homepage here, and that you can just keep reusing it, keep sending it out to different people if you wanted to, or using that URL or QR code that you made. So really, if you invest some time and maybe you want to sit down with your MTS and talk through some of what you want to put in there, maybe you really do want to get that really great video in there of you just talking. But this is just some really a cool way to do a virtual business card for people, to let them know who you are and to give them, some access to some of your links on your website.